And hello, everybody. This is Matthew McKenna Squires. It is a lovely August day. What day is it, actually? The 11th. I just looked on my phone. And for those of you who don't know me, you probably know this. This is the Anime Bpston Cosplay Chess 20th anniversary project diorama that I made for the 20th anniversary of Cosplay Chess, which didn't happen. I presented it at the AB Art Show, but I kind of wanted to do a video where I point out the pieces, how I made it, why I made it. So this is kind of just an very just like quick video-ish I wanted to do, going over the project. I do want to note a few things on the project, which we will go into, but first, as you can see right here, this was the piece of writing that I wrote up that came with it. Just read it off for you. Anime Bpston Cosplay Chess 20th Anniversary Project. This model displays a cosplay chess game with each piece representing a character who was in cosplay chess since the game was first played at Anime Bpston on Sunday, May 1st, 2005. So it's been 20 years since the first game. The supporting document, which are these two here, they list each character, their piece placement, and which year of cosplay chess they premiered as a piece. And I dedicated this model to everyone who has been a part of Anime Bpston's Cosplay Chess, for all the moments, for all the laughs, for making us all wake up early on a Sunday to see one last event before the end of the con. Thank you. And dated Instagram, May 22nd, 2025. So, a little backstory about myself. My first Anime Bpston was 2008, and I saw the Anime Bpston 2008 Cosplay Chess, and I was obsessed with it. So, for many years I entered. So fun fact, I've never been a piece on the board. I was a part of Team Sitcast, Team Sit in the Corner and Sulk, which premiered in 2008. I've been a backup piece. I was commander of team. I was Spirit Auburn. I was one of the chess players in the Anime Bpston 2018 chess game. And then I was Kotaro Tatsumi. I was the Anime Bpston Cosplay Chess host from 2022 to 2024, which was a huge deal. Like, absolutely wonderful that I got to be a part of that. And, I found out earlier this year that Anime Bpston was not doing chess for this year. And I do not agree with that decision. This is my own personal opinion. It's one thing... It's one thing if if they had the last game this year and decided they weren't going to do it, just let us have the 20th. But, for going the 2 years back with where COVID didn't have the con happen, it's still 20 years. You should have at least had it. I was disappointed. And, I was talking to my wife, Ashley, and I'm like, you know what? I was bouncing ideas off her, and I'm like, I got to do something. So I came up with this. So a little bit funny story about this. I'll admit this now. My original plan was I had bought a small table. I was going to bring this into the con and just set this up somewhere as a surprise, like a guerrilla-style art display. But then a part of me was like, as I got closer, I'm like, I really don't want this thing to be removed or anything. So my new decision was like, you know what? Let's just enter the art show. And I got into the art show and I was able to promote it. A lot of people loved it. They were happy with it. And, I really kept this a surprise because I just wanted to surprise people and just know, like, hey, thanks for everything. You all mattered. It was a good event. And I know apparently Cosplay Chess is not happening for 2026, along with other decisions, which I think personally, I think they're bad ideas. At the end of the day. But, what can you do? I hope things change, but, oh well, it's their decision. I don't agree with it, but whatever. So I wanted to go over the project. So a couple things. So I got here the chess piece, the character name, the series they're from, and the year they appeared in chess. This was hard to do because 2005, there were some photos I had to go digging online for. 2006, I found like one video on YouTube. 2007, I found like a very low quality video, and then everything afterwards I was able to find recordings and photos of, so thank God. Excuse me. So that's the pieces, and over here we have the host, founders, coordinator, mascots, team sit casts, and players. Now, I did have audience members, but here's the thing. It turns out some pieces that I had are not here for some reason. Also, I don't know how this ended up in my art box when I was putting stuff away. I don't remember this even. I don't know where this came from. So, whomever this belongs to, let me know if you're looking for it, and I'll get it back to you. I seriously don't know why that appeared. Let's move that over there. But yeah, so I had to use audience members for the pieces to replace. I don't know why that happened. I think it was probably damages or something. Watch, I'm going to do this video and I'll find them later. But, you know, might as well have a good run with this and talk about it. So, and like I said, a lot of this, chess sides do switch up. They sometimes switch like white and black and white chess placement for each year. So I went with the best judgment I had and the best way I can describe the titles of people. So that's how I'm doing things. So I'm going to start with our chess players. So black side right, white side left. First off, we have our representing 2005. We have I'm going to try to zoom in as best as possible so as not to disturb something. So we have there we go, right there. That's 2005. We have Harley from Chrono Cross as a black king knight, and then so I had Sakura Kitamoto as a black pawn, but she went missing. So instead, I have Amaterasu, and Amaterasu premiered at Anime Bpston 2023 to replace the Sakura, which is missing from that time period. Let's see. Next up, my white king knight, who was Duck. So once again, the Duck is missing, which is great. So instead, sorry if the camera placement gets a little weird, by the way. So instead, I chose Mizu from Blue Eye Samurai, the Netflix show. Premiered Anime Bpston 2024 during the last one. And a lot of the audience members, I chose them just they were some friends of mine who I wanted to include in some manner. The way I decided on pieces was that I set up a formula in Excel just to, like, randomize things. So, you know, if I didn't get someone in, sorry about that, but that's just how I went about with doing my piece placement. Okay, good, you're staying there. Next up, let's see. And then we have our Black King from 2006. We have Orochimaru from Naruto. There he is. Moving down the list, for 2007 AB, we have our White Pawn, Chihiro from Spirited Away. Right, that's, my hand is giant, right there. And then White Queen Rook. We have Tifa Lockhart, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, right there. Oh, and how I did the pieces, I just cut them out on cardstock. I printed them on cardstock, cut out the shape as best I can, then I laminated them, cut them out. I bought the little game pieces on, I think Temu, the chessboards from Temu, that little, the little podiums from Temu, and that's just a frame from Dollar Tree, honestly. So I will admit, I'm not an artist. I'm not, like, trained in anything. This is more like just, you know, it's my work and I'm proud of it. Now we're going to 2008. We have Black Queen Rook. We have Edward Elric, Fullmetal Alchemist. That was like before Brotherhood dropped, actually. And then we have our Black Pawn, who is Misaka Yuki, right, the young lady right there from Fusugi Yugi, a series that no one ever talks about. Oh god, 2008 was so much fun. It somehow ended with, like, 2 Jack Sparrow showed up. The game went, like, an hour over overtime. And also, I look back, but, like, Dusty Nova from Battle Angel Alita showed up. So that's wild. 2009, we have our Black Queen Bishop. Was Ash Ketchum, he's gone, so Gudetama is there. Gudetama showed up and is actually a Team Sitcast member, and he showed up in 2017. So good news, Gudetama, you got bumped up. I just thought it'd be funny to see Gudetama. And also Kaname Chidori was a white pawn. Unfortunately, she's not there. Wait a minute. Hold on. Black Pawn, Sakura King. Okay, I see what I did. I apologize, so I messed up. So the Tails is the Black Pawn. That's Tails who showed up in 2024, and Amaterasu is the White Pawn, replacing Konami Chidori from 09. So I just got my things mixed up, excuse me. But yeah, so there you go. There you go. Perfect. Moving down the list, 2010, we have our White Queen, Lelouch v. Britannia. Specifically his king robes, which I remember, which I had to watch the video for. And then we have Black Queen Knight, who's Meg from Burst Angel, another series that I don't remember anyone else talking about the series past, like, 2011, I think. 2011, we have Demyx from Kingdom Hearts 2, dude with the guitar. The ones with, like, the props were the bigger ones. Those were fun to cut out, I'll tell you. And then, next up we have 2011, our White Queen, Washu from Tenchi Muyo. Okay, so side note. The Washu in the game was not wearing the nurse's costume. I tried to find just, like, a photo of her in the OVA costume, and it was just, like, none of them were working out, so I went with the next best thing. It works. It works. Moving on to 2012, we have a White Pawn. We have dude in the gold armor, Gilgamesh from Fate Stay Night. And then we have our Black Pawn, Kratos Oron from Tales of Symphonia. 2013, we have White Pawn, Chie Satonaka from Persona 4. And then we have our Black Pawn, who's, there he is, Grell Sutcliffe from Black Butler. Nice mix, I gotta say, I got of, like, old and new anime. You know, classics and even stuff people don't remember. 2014, I have, 2014, there we go. Black Pawn, Akane Tendo from Rama 1/2. And then I have a White Pawn who's Madoka from Madoka Magica. There she is right there. By the way, I had tape for these when I was going to set them up at one point, but I'm like, they'll be fine at the table. And they did pretty well there, actually. Okay, next up, Black Queen. So, the Black Queen from 2015 was Asuka, and she's gone. She's been replaced with Mei Rin from Black Butler, premiered in 2019. Like I said, I don't know where that piece went. It's somewhere in the void, I guess. I don't know. And then our White King Bishop is Medusa from Soul Eater, also from 2015. White Pawn for Anime Bpston 2016, we have Haruka Haru from Free. I only know this anime pretty much from that weird Abridged series. And then our White Queen Knight, Yuki Kono from Sword Art Online, Anime Bpston 2016. That girl right there. Was not expecting to get that character, who I know nothing about. Then for our Black Pawn, we have, from 2017, we have Hisoka, clown dude right there. Black King Rook from 2017, we have Pokemon's Jesse and James. 2018, that's where we get into, like, I had to kind of break it up, so, like, 18, 19, 22, 23 have 1, and then 24 had 2, because it was the last one. For Anime Bpston 2018, White Pawn, Shizuo from Durarara. Then Black Pawn for 2019, Zach Bell and Saitaro Takami. I screwed up the name. So Zach Bell from Anime Bpston from Zach Bell. I screwed up that name. That's awesome. Of course, fun fact that Sataro had the Zach Bell as like a little puppet, so I just included them both. Black Pawn for Anime Bpston 2022 when we came back was Joseph Joestar Part 2 of JoJo's Battle Tendency. White King Rook, there he is, Luigi from Luigi's Mansion. And then wrapping up, we have Leon S. Kennedy as the White Pawn, Resident Evil 4. And then finally, we wrap up with our White Queen Bishop, Trucy Wright from Phoenix Wright. And those are the pieces. So now we're going to go kind of move into other individuals. So I'll start with Team Sitcast. So with Team Sidcast. First, we have Vash the Stampede, Anime Bpston 2005. I included him because he was one of the original pieces. I know that's sketch cosplay because I know he was one of the original chess players, so I had to put him in some way because I feel like it would be odd if I didn't put him in. Just because I know he's part of Anime Bpston cosplay history. Then our other pieces. So we have Gyu from Demon Slayer from AB 2023. We have, of course, All Might from AB 2023. Great combo. Over here, we have the last Team Sitcast, which was 2024. Goro Majima from the Yakuza series. And Iris Sagan from the Somnium Files. I hope I pronounced that right. Someone's going to get into the comments and make fun of me. I realized the Demon Slayer I wrote on this has a typo. Cool. And we have also here Tamaki from, this is 2008, so he's the second member of Team Sitcast. And the Sasuke right here, specifically this uniform, that was the first member of Team Sin the Core and Sulk. So I had to make sure they were in. Now the Aizen over here, if I remember correctly, the first time I saw him was Anime Bpston 2008. He became like a recurring villain in the chess games. Like he was beaten a few times, and he came back. And then he was beaten and came back. So had to put the recurring villain of Anime Bpston Cosplay Chess in there. Moving on to the chess players themselves. So we have representing the first game and the last game. So the first game of Anime Bpston Cosplay Chess was played by Shuichi from Gravitation and Little Slugger from Paranoia Agent. And the last game, Light Yagami from Death Note and Joker from Persona 5. Pretty amazing to see the changes in anime taste. And of course I had to put them on the same side. White players, black players for the chess pieces. Trying to find like actual full body model images for these two. Pain in the ass, especially for him for some reason. He was very easy to find actually. I know someone will go in the comments and be like, well, you should have looked here. I'm like, I wish I knew that. Wish I had that information yesterday. And then moving on, of course, how can you talk about chess without the coordinator himself, Maximilian Pegasus, everybody. Know him as Google Candy on YouTube. And I have him down as since Anime Bpston 2018 when he took over. That's the best. That's as best of my knowledge as I remember. And always, you've done a great job coordinating chess. And moving on, you have this good-looking guy, Kotaro Tatsumi from Zombieland Saga, premiering in Anime Bpston 2022. I will be wearing him again for AAC this year because the movie's coming out, so I'm happy to be Kotaro again. And then against the wall here, we have we have three people. First off, we have our mascots, A-chan and B-kun. Anime Bpston 2003, so they premiered like 2 years before chess started, and it's not Anime Bpston without chess. Anime Bpston Cosplay Chess without them. And finally, we have, of course, the someone who I point out as like the face of Cosplay Chess for many years, Claude K. Winchester, aka K-san from Gravitation. I could not find like a standing regular model of this character. I found one that was very low res, so I had to use just the manga version. I just remember K-san because K-san, they always had like the giant bazooka, and they were like the coordinator and the host for many years until they stopped at some point. I think it was like the late 2010s, a little bit before Pegasus took over. But of course, have to honor K-san in some degree. And that's it. That's the chess game. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope everyone liked it, enjoyed the little thing I did. You know, like I said, I'm not a professional artist, but had to do something to honor the game. So this is now going back into a box I have, into a closet where it will stay. But I will say, as someone who hosted chess for like 3 years and was part of it and watched it to some degree, you know, was part of it to some degree and watched it like every one of them consecutively since 2008. It was a good time, and thanks everybody. So it was good to know that. I'm just glad to know that at least I was able to honor the 20th anniversary in some degree as a person who loves and respects the game. So, thanks everybody, and hope you enjoy the video. Bye.